We're here in South Beach finishing up a week. I just had a conference for one of our main verticals. And I just thought I'd take a minute as I walk down here in South Beach and I look back and think back to the first time I came here, which is about 12, 13 years ago. About 12, 13 years ago. And I remember my life then and how different it is now. And the reason why I want to shoot this video really was because I get questions all the time about how do you do what you do, how are you able to travel, how do you make money online, or I get comments like, oh, you're so lucky, I'm so jealous. But I wanted to not just highlight how we're able to do this, which is cool and is fun and opens a lot of opportunities in my life, but also highlight the price you pay to live this kind of life, because it's not all glitz and glamour. Yes, we're doing cool shit, but the work that goes into it behind the scenes that isn't on camera is often not talked about, in my opinion, right? So, but I just share my thoughts on that, give you guys some practical advice, and then let you make the decision if this is what you want to do. Because I do believe in 2025 that doing something online, whether it be in a media buying role or something that involves paid traffic or leveraging traffic organically in some way, is the biggest opportunity. So let's check out South Beach as we kind of talk through it, right? Hey, real quick, look, a little pro tip. You'll see how they're like selling the food. There's like someone out there like pitching the food. This is super common at like tourist traps like this, like South Beach. Usually it's like a red flag to me. If someone's trying to sell me on why I need to go into the restaurant, it means the food's probably not really good. And let's be real, everything on this road for the most part is overpriced and very bad.
Like poor section.
So, fun fact, this is actually the Versace house. Like if you can think of the brand Versace. Yeah, the guy, Versace himself, was actually murdered by a serial killer right on his own stairs. Pretty messed up, but yeah, this is a huge iconic site here in Miami and South Beach. But there's something I want to show you that is pretty important to me, or was important because of what it meant at that point in my life. So come on, let's go. So behind me here is a Clevelander, and the reason why this was special to me, the first time I ever came to Miami, like I said, I was 23, maybe going on 24, and I just started my first business, and I also went through a really bad breakup after 3+ years together. And I came here with my friends, and I was still in that old mindset of how I wanted to live my life, partying hard on the weekends, working hard during the week, and I still do that a little bit now and then, but not anywhere near like what I used to do. Like I barely drink alcohol at all at this point in my life. But I remember being there, being super broke, not even be able to afford my own hotel room, having to split the place with like 4 or 5 of my friends. I was sleeping on the floor. I mean, I had a ton of fun there, right? Like I think there's a time and a place in your life that's cool, but I couldn't imagine myself doing that now. It does look a little bit fun. I'd probably go have a drink there, but ultimately, like that's not who I am at this point in my life. And there's people that create success and they still live that, and that's good on them. But I think if you stay in that kind of lifestyle and mindset, it really does limit you from reaching your true potential and honestly just being happy with what you do with yourself, right, in your life. So it does look fun, not gonna lie though, but not how I would spend my time at this point in my life. So the lifestyle of having your own business, let alone something that you could do anywhere in the world, you could work online, like with lead gen, pay-per-call, affiliate marketing, e-com, it's great, it's super cool. Like I've been able to hang out here in Miami without any kind of commitment or responsibility to be anywhere else in the world, which is awesome. But the reality is, what you don't see, is I've been working most of the time. I've been in meetings. I was here for a conference that consumed the first 3 or 4 days. I mean, I enjoy those things, but it's not like me just sitting on the beach sipping margaritas, right? And then the hours around that, I'm still meeting with my team. We're checking on our ads. We did a full creative shoot. We actually hired some actors and actresses. So how we spend our Saturday? Yeah, we went and ate dinner with some friends. That was great. And then we went to a club at night, but I spent 4 hours, 5 hours in the heat on Sunday after I worked all morning with an actor filming content for some of our ads. So do I need to be the one doing this? Not necessarily, but I think it's important to have your hands on certain things. And yeah, this is like the reality. Like, yes, I'm enjoying this, I'm having fun, but don't get caught up in the idea that having an online business is like they sell you the dream on where you're just making money while you sleep. Sure, you are, but it does require some work. You can build, you can create systems, which is what we've been focused on lately as we scale. But the reality is you're going to be consumed. If you want to get the most out of it, you're going to have to put the most in. So everyone wants to live the 4-hour work week. If you remember that book that Timothy Ferriss put out years ago, probably like at least 12 to 15 years ago. I know I read it and I believed in this dream that you could basically just work minimal hours and make a bunch of money, right? And that is somewhat of a reality, but it's not the reality. Ultimately, to build something like that is going to take a lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of resources. So don't get it twisted that that's just how things work, right? So that is possible, and I know people have done stuff similar to that, but as after typically years of getting really good at something and building something, most likely let's say you start in affiliate marketing or lead gen or pay-per-call, you're gonna be going to cool places like Miami, and you're gonna be able to do cool stuff like it's February 2nd, just go hang out on the beach on a weekend, a weekday. But the reality is you're gonna have to be putting a lot of time after hours, the hours in between, doing stuff a lot of times you don't wanna do, because that's what business involves, is often you spend a lot of time doing BS that just needs to get done. And then you'll create time for stuff like this, where you can just go enjoy the beach. Like every day I've been here, I've made it a point to at least walk on the beach, if not actually go work out. So I've worked out 4 out of the last 7 days, which is perfect for me, for what I wanted for this week. And then those other 3 days, I at least came for a 30, 60-minute walk or a jog, right? And I think a lot of people forget to do that stuff because they get so consumed by the work. Like I have a lot of friends that have the same kind of freedom with their time, but they don't make it a priority to do anything else but work, which is kind of sad to me, because part of the reason why you build and you grow and you make all this money and create things is so you have the freedom, or at least in my opinion. Obviously people have their own reasons, but I think that's a huge perk and benefit that a lot of people forget about. I know a lot of my friends that make way more money than me. They're way more successful. They built amazing teams, and they don't make it a priority to even travel. Like I have friends that have barely left the US that have much higher net worths than me, and so it's really just by choice, right? But I guess that also kind of goes down to personal preferences, but at the same time, I think if you just live in more or less the same country most of your life, you're really doing yourself a disservice at understanding and learning and seeing what the world can offer, which is why I love travel. I've been to 40 countries. So understanding there is a price to pay to have the lifestyle, for the freedom, the flexibility, the money of an online business, your choice is, yes, I want to pay that price. What do you do then if you're not already in pay-per-call or e-com or drop shipping or lead gen or coaching consulting or whatever online venture you may already be doing? What is the biggest opportunity right now? Well, I believe really any way, I'm biased where affiliate marketing I think is one of the best opportunities, at least when it comes to cash flow and making money. When it comes to building, it's another story. So like with affiliate marketing, you earn in multiple ways, whether it's from like a conversion, someone filling out a website form, someone purchasing something, someone registering for something, right? Or someone making a phone call. It's really just an arbitrage. There's a cost to produce that result, right? The cost per the click, which then comes down to a cost per conversion or a cost per sale, versus what the sale or the click or the call is worth. That's the margin in between that math, between what it costs you and what it actually pays out or produces. That's the arbitrage game, right? So there's always going to be some of these arbitrage games, some short-term, some long-term, some more sustainable, some you can actually build a business off the back of, but I think that there's always gonna be some kind of arbitrage. So whether that's leveraging an influencer network like we're seeing with TikTok Shop, right? People more or less arbitraging, whether it's a flat payout or a percentage of sales, that's like your cost of traffic against the revenue that it actually brings in from product sales, right? Whereas with paid traffic, which is what we specialize in, Facebook ads, media buying, creative production, what it costs us to produce the conversion from that paid traffic on average against what it pays out, that's our arbitrage, that's our margin. And I think that these things are never gonna go away. They're just gonna evolve and transform as we see more AI and coming into the space and the ecosystem. But ultimately, you're still doing business with humans at the end of the day, right? There's always gonna be some arbitrage. That's the beautiful thing about affiliate marketing. Is it gonna be how you build your wealth and tens of millions of dollars in your bank account? Possibly, but that's to really have that bigger money play, you're gonna need to build something you could sell. But when you have the traffic side of it, the ability to acquire and produce customers, results, conversions, outcomes from the skill set of arbitrage, whether, like I said, that's paid traffic yourself or leveraging influencers or however you get traffic, I think that's a superpower in itself, and you can build a company from that once you have that capability and that capacity to do that, right? So there's a lot of different online businesses you could do that'll support this kind of lifestyle, like all the cool, fun stuff I get to do when I'm not working. But you got to really understand yourself and go from there from when you decide what you want to do with your life, with your business, if this is the life you choose.